What is up, everyone? This is Malik Giles with the 7 Eye Movement, here to talk to you guys on how we can get into an effective relationship with God through creativity, diversity, and so much more. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys on how we can get into good connections with people and avoid bad connections. It's going to be a great topic that can help so many of us because a lot of us tend to always run into bad connections with people, conflict, and a lot of other things that results in just a bad situation. So this may really help a lot of us because many of us deal with consistent bad connections and fallouts with people. So let's go ahead and dive into a topic that can help us get into more good connections. Okay, so first things first. If you guys want to know the idea and understanding I had to really know for myself recently is that the best connections you make with people are the connections you have when God is involved. Many of the connections that we make with different people, we don't involve God. We involve otherworldly things and otherworldly ways of doing what we do with others, and we let a lot of things in. We let a lot of doors open for anything to happen between us and whoever else we're connected to. Well, through my many different experiences with different people, I have found that the best connections you make with people involve God. All right. And everyone has a different way of connecting with God, and everyone has different people they connect with when it involves God. Everyone does not connect with God the same way, and that is okay. Sometimes that may lead to certain conflicts or even certain disagreements in that understanding. But the best thing to do is to connect with those who, one, you are able to relate to and understand more, and then connect with them when it involves God. This is an easy way to help both of you guys grow, understand one another, understand the world, get into God, and have a positive friendship or relationship or whatever you want to call it. This can become something that can be so continuous with you and the other person to the point where there may be no room for bad fallouts and bad connections. Every connection you make will always have its ups and downs, but it shouldn't be to the point where every connection you make is dysfunctional, it's bad, it's one-sided. That's not life, that's not living, and that's not how we were truly made to have consistent bad connections, okay? Another way I would say is to also engage in a lot of positive activities. And when I mean positive, I don't just mean what everyone in the world considers fun, because what a lot of people do that is fun, it is not positive. So you have to really say what is good for your mind, what's good for your heart, what's good for your soul, what's good for one another, what's good physically, mentally, and spiritually that you and other friends can engage in. This will help better connections. This will help set a tone for what you and that friend stands for. There will be times when you and that person want to go out and do something that's, it may not be on the positive side, but it's just called being human. Either way, do not let those bad habits that you guys get into overtake the entire connection that you have. That's when things will start to go downhill, and more than likely, you and that person will have conflict. You let bad habits, you let bad situations get in of a connection or any type of relation that you have with someone, it can ultimately tear you and that person apart. And whatever possibility that you guys had of making great changes, great connections, there are sometimes friendships can make a big impact to people around them if they grow and go bigger in God. It's possible and it can happen. Friendships can make an impact between one another as well. It's possible. So think of good, effective ways. Get into good engagements. Get into good interactions with people that will help you, that will feed into your spirit, that will allow you to have a better understanding of people. Yes, we live in a world where, we see a lot of bad. We see a lot of people who do certain things and say certain things that we do not like. But understand that it's called being a human. We have a good side and we have a bad side to us. It all matters to what you feed into the most. Are you feeding your good side more? Or are you feeding your bad side more? That's the more simpler way I can describe it. So in my opinion, I have learned, like I said, that anything revolving God is always a great connection to get into. All right. And many of your friends, of course, will not agree with that. They will want to stray away from that. They may have had previous or recent experiences where, they don't feel comfortable getting into God with other people and so on and so on. That's okay. Because you know what you can continue doing? You can continue that connection in the spirit. Continue praying for those friends, hoping that whatever situation that they may have had with God or with anything or anyone else, continue praying and intercession that they are able to pull through and you also work and be honestly the best friend that you can towards them. There is no dead end when it comes to having a relationship with God. All right. Whether someone believes in him or not, you're still able to have a valid connection with them that involves God. So you don't even have to rush it to them. You can continually and consistently pray in the spirit. Every connection that you have doesn't last. We all know that there are some for seasons and whatnot. We know that whole saying, but more so, make sure however long that you're supposed to stay in that realm with that person, that you continue to stay in that person's life and do the best job as you can when it comes to praying, when it comes to being there for them, and everything above. All right. These are good habits and good effective ways of being a friend or being someone that you're connected to. And it will help in the long run so much more. It will also help you. The more you engage in good things, good habits, great social habits, and good internal habits, it will start to build on you, and you will start to draw more and more people around you to where you will also be able to help God assist them, and you will also be helped God and assisted as well. Doing all of these things will get you into a realm where honestly all you know is to get into good connections. All right. That's all you know how to do, is to make great connections with people. You consistently do that, then you will begin to fall off from the habits and the ways that you may have once had of consistently having bad connections. Okay. And it's also simple. All you have to do is want to be able to engage in good habits, gain a sense of wanting to have good habits, just get into good habits, good engagements with people. It's so much that you can do in this world that both of you and whoever else you're doing it with can smile at the end of the day and say, we had a positive, great time. All right. I myself have had great connections with different friends that I've met, and a lot of their good habits have fell upon me as well. Of course, I've had friends where bad habits have fallen upon me, but I've noticed that I had to get rid of those habits immediately because I did not want those to roll over for the rest of my life, or also to go into when I get into other friendships or connections in the future, I didn't want those habits to fall on them as well. I can give you guys one nice example that was actually, I'll say recently, like a month or two. I actually had a friend who we would actually every night during our recent semester at school, we would go outside and we would run. We would always run and exercise every night outside. And it was a good habit. It was a good thing to pick up on. We kept it, the word that we spoke upon it was consistency. We're doing this to stay consistent. And what's funny is that this friend would always bring his basketball with him. And while we were running, he would always dribble his basketball with him. He played basketball. He loves basketball. Ball is life for him, basically. So after the semester was over, what's funny was I found myself actually picking up a basketball. Mind you, I never really played or cared for basketball at all. But I found myself picking up a basketball at the end of the semester. And to this day, I would just go outside to the court and just start shooting the ball. And of course, I recognize that this trait, this habit, this whatever I'm doing, literally came from that friend who will always bring his basketball outside. So that right there was a good habit. It was a good trait. Go out and exercise, go out and do a sport. That was something that I was able to pick up on from a friend where we were also engaging in positive activities. So something like that, something as simple as that, you're able to really get into good connections with people and also pick up on good habits from them as well. So just remember that it is never impossible to get into good connections with people. Every person that you meet does not have to be a bad fallout. All right. So remember that. Stay honest with yourself. Stay honest with others, and you will prosper greatly. That is all I have for today. If you guys need me or need to contact me, feel free to email me at 7ivii@gmail.com, or just my Instagram is going to be below. So just go ahead and click the link and DM me or whatever you have to do. Other than that, that's all I have for today. This is Malik Giles. I will see you guys next time. Adios.